Good evening. We're back here again with another presentation. It's Tuesday, actually, today, the 12th of September, and we're in the year 2023. We are gradually gliding toward our national elections in Liberia, and that elections to take place on October 10th. So we are weeks away. No more a month. It's weeks away. And we'd like to have a great conversation here tonight. So we want to invite you wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this 184th edition of our broadcast here in the Issues Room. My name is Volcano Shelton. At Anchor here, I'll be joined shortly by my colleagues. But in the meantime, we'd like to welcome Raymond Clark for being number one here tonight, showing up. We say thank you for joining us here. This evening, we're going to be looking at some of the speeches by the presidential aspirants or candidates, put it that way. That includes the incumbent Mr. Weir. And we'll just be looking at what they're saying. And we're going to discuss some of those things. And then the international community. What is the international community saying about our elections? What is the expectation from the international community? Is it going to be just on the sideline, or are they really going to be invested in our elections? And of course, they have to, because over the years since our civil war subsided, there's been billions of dollars put into Liberia. And yet, you look at the country, you're confused. Where all this money gone? When in fact, people have just gotten rich. Individual people, individual Liberians who have been blessed with the hemp of leadership in our country have gotten rich. And that includes the president, current president, past president, officials of government, all have gotten rich. So the international community needs to be a part of this election. They need to set expectations. They need to put forth what they want seen. And not just that they're not going to make a decision as to who become president, but the participation will be the investment they've made over time, what they've put into it, uh, and leave it out to the Liberian people. But of course, the Liberian people have the ultimate decision to make. Former Ambassador Akati said that the future of Liberia lies in the hands of the voters. So we're going to have this conversation tonight. Again, we say thank you for joining us, Maria Gardel. Thank you so much for coming through here tonight. Forger Monyu, as usual, good to see you here in the Issues Room. We'd like to welcome everyone wherever you are. Today is Tuesday. As I said, we're here Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we hope that our conversation here tonight will be one of significance in terms of contributing to the enlightenment of the process in Liberia. Moses Sandy is all decked up in red tie. Is a checkerboard, or yeah, that's a checkerboard. Or we call it checker, right? Checker tie. And when people wear checker tie, it means that they're coming to throw slings, though. You know, in Liberia, they say the man wear red shoes or the woman wear red shoes to court. I can't hear you, my man. I hope you didn't come with your problem again tonight. There's no sound from you. There's no sound from you. No sound. No sound. So probably you need to log on and come back. No sound from you. I wouldn't know why. So yeah, but as I was saying, so unfortunately, Moses is having technical problem, and let's hope that he resolves it. Um, I don't know why he's not getting sound. I think everything on my end is good enough. Um, Let me just quickly take a quick look. Yes, everything looks good from my end. So let me just ask the audience if okay he gone. I will have asked the audience, but in the meantime, Fergie, Shaggy, did you guys hear him when he was talking or attempted to talk like he was doing? And I said I couldn't hear him from my end. Did you guys hear him? Please, uh, say yes or no. He got to. Yeah. You're right, Shaggy. He got to invest. Did not. Okay, no, I did not. Yeah, he got to invest, man. He got to invest like I did. You're right. $1,500. Look how Crystal and Chris, this stuff is handling um, the situation here tonight. But again, as I said, so we know that we're weeks away from the national elections in Liberia. The anticipation is high. Everyone is making the case. All of the candidates, and when I say all of the candidates, to be honest with you, those 20 people they talked about, I don't even know some of them. I've not heard even how they sound, what they have to say. And unfortunately, this is the situation in Liberian politics and even in the great United States. If you had 20 candidates in our elections here in America, of course, only two were here: the Democratic nominee and the Republican nominee, and maybe the one they call the what they call that one, the independent. Yeah, but other than that, all the other people, nobody will give a crap about them. So in Liberia right now, the four serious people in the race, and I use the word serious because yes, you can see what they're saying, the campaign and all of that. The four serious people in the race is Mr. Weah, Mr. Boyka, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Gonglo. You want to add Clarence Moneybuy is just probably 1%. And I say 1% in honesty because I don't know how much he gonna, get from the total population. But this is what happening. And Ahmad Freeman, you just took it out of my mouth. You just took it out of my mouth. How can we have elections? We are weeks away from the national elections, and there's no debate for the candidates to quiz each other. Even though they got the manifesto, the platform, they're talking, but it's just talking empty words. Because if you put Mr. Barker against Mr. Cummings and Mr. Weah against Mr. Cummings and the rest of them, and they're hitting each other in a panel debate, I can imagine we will see some of the loopholes, we'll see some of the weaknesses. Rather than come here and say, Jose, yo. The people say, we're not going to be president, but we're president now. Oh, yeah. The people say, they don't, not 2 years, I mean, not 2 years, oh, yeah. Those things don't help. You got to be telling the Liberian people what you're going to do for them. It's been long overdue. And like I said, billions of dollars since the cessation of our civil war and the ushering of the democratic process. How many Liberians can show the benefits that they've benefited from the democratic process in this country? We have 3 successive elections. I'm not putting Charles Taylor election there. I'm not. I'm talking since 2005. 3 successive elections. Billions of dollars infused in our economy. How many Liberians can put their hands on and say they benefited? Apart from those guys who became rich overnight. From the Ellings government to the Weah government. How many Liberians can show that they benefited? We have our institutions in shambles. The lack of rule of law. Drugs infestation in the country. Millions of young people at the end of everything that's happening, and they're the ones suffering. We are not grooming our young people to become successive leaders who will take over this country. The people who are in power now only concerned about themselves and their relatives and loved ones, but leaving the masses defend and struggle and suffer for itself. Yet we have all this endowed wealth. Every day we hear what's coming out of Liberia. The first lady's brother is pillaging our economy, taking tons of gold out of the country. I'm not hearing nobody disputing it. I'm not hearing the president say, "Oh no, that's not true. My brother-in-law not doing it." I'm not hearing the first lady say, "Oh, my brother not in the country. Oh, he ain't got no hand in the matter." Nobody's saying it. You got other officials in government competing with the very government, investing in universities and asking the government to fund the universities, investing in real estate, opening bogus companies and taking contracts from the government, paid by the government. And some of the works that they're doing, they don't have no head, no tail. How can we continue to treat our country like this? But yet we take most of these monies and we run abroad and buy homes in these countries. Latest story of Samuel Tour buying house piece of city tar. Latest story. And we expect this country to make progress when everything has to be a black deal. When can we have conspicuous interactions in the public? When is Mr. We are going to tell the Liberian people, this is my wealth, here's my salary? When is Samuel Tour going to tell the Liberian people, this is my wealth, here's my salary? So that way we do the measurables and say, oh, wait a minute, you just been here 6 years. How can you earn or own all of this? And people expect us to be quiet on this, right? Yeah. Oh, y'all ain't like the people. Y'all ain't like the people. Oh, y'all was still the same way. That's not true. That's not true. Not every Liberian who wakes up with a mindset to steal. There are hundreds of thousands of Liberians who want to make Liberia better because they will benefit when Liberia is better. Those hundreds of thousands of Liberians who have gone to work, who have gotten educated, and who have lived decent lives, want to be in the country to help out. We have these conversations. Because how much can a man earn? And how much can a man own? You build a 10-bedroom house, you will only sleep in one room. You have 50 cars in your garage, you will only drive one at a time. You have 10 bathrooms in the house, you only can use one at a time. So, how much can a man want? How much? So the situation is serious, and these people who are going to go to the polls continue to take this thing for granted. A majority of these young people just running the street, Jose, all kinds of stuff. I keep asking the question, when did our country come to this lowest term? That people don't look at substance anymore. People don't look at the importance of what's to happen for the future and for the country. Thomas Awaji, you say you're not well. I'm a man. Sorry to hear that, but hope you will be well by the time we go through the show. And what type of country is this? Because I know what type of country is this will help you get healed. But thank you for joining us. Moses Sandy, are you able now to have you remedied that? Don't shake your head.
Yes, it's
Oh,
taken care of.
so you see,
Yeah,
you the last time you were blaming me. Oh, you need to go buy Mike. Your
I
man
know.
buy a
No, but
Mac.
my microphone is good.
No.
It
Apple, no,
shifted to
oh man,
default.
Apple, Mac computer like me,
Oh,
1500.
okay. Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
But yeah, I just try to solidize it a little bit, talking about, where we are and where this election is going.
Hmm.
And these candidates, no debate. Everybody just running around the place in the rainy season, some of them getting wet and just a wet rush. I know when they do all I want, they will be president by force. But that's the situation, my man.
Yeah.
Coming.
Yeah. I mean, it is well said. And let me first apologize to the many viewers out there for coming in a little bit late. This is what happens. Sometimes we experience technical glitch, and I had to come in a little bit late. But like you said, Volcano, you listen to the candidates. All you hear is Zekwe, Zekwe, Zekwe. Nobody is discussing the policy issue, especially the ruling government. My expectation would be that, look, it's like you're already on the job, you're doing the job, and somebody wants that job. What do? Don't you recount your accomplishments and why you think they should retain you? But every time we hear it's a quay, and we beat them before, we can beat them again. So we should just vote you because you won 6 years ago. So we should vote you again on that basis. But hey, coming back to the discussion for tonight, I know we're going to delve a lot into some of these things that we're talking
Let's
about.
quickly understand here from
I would,
Shaggy is asking
yeah,
whether a debate is required according to the election bylaws. I wouldn't know for a fact, but I think it's prudent to do because
it's part of the process.
in any civilized society, considering where we are, and if we're practicing democracy as it is, then yes, I think debates are necessary because it's a part of the process.
Yes, debates are very essential. However, debates are not imperative. But if you want to make a case, if Moses and Volcano are going for a position, and the recruiter say, "Hey, Mr. Sandy, let's hear from you a bit about why you think we should select you over Mr. Shelton." Mr. Sandy should say, "Okay, this is what I stand for. This is what I bring to this job." And Volcano say, "Look, these are my skills." And then in this case, now would be the voters to look at the individual and say, well, you know what, we think Volcano has, the experience, the job experience, the education, and his presentation, made a lot of sense as compared to what Moses, said. But we just can't count, or, both of us are males, so just look at us and select us. That's why people hold debates in order to draw the distinction between the two in terms of what they stand for and what they hope to accomplish if given the opportunity. Now, Volcano, let me just use this time quickly. I know most of our followers out there are aware that this weekend, Minnesota will be the place, will be the center of attraction. It's my understanding that Liberian journalists
Please make it
from
quick.
across
Please,
Liberian journalists from across the country.
hold on. You're not
Yeah.
too air time for this. Please make it quick. And in fact, he gone. You coming on to Aja business here again. The computer said bear with him. We gave Aja a whole show. So, but let's come back to the issue. So as I was saying, and unfortunately Moses doesn't want to invest, and so that's why he will have this kind of problem. You know, computers are only good for 3 to 5 years, especially the way they're making them. I change my cell phone every 2 years. Every 2 years. Because these things to just make them so you can continue to be obligated. Obligated. All right. But anyway, let's come back to what I was saying. And we go into the elections in weeks from now. And the truth here is everyone is still looking confused. Everyone. The people who say they will vote, the people who say they must vote for them, the people who supporting the people who they should vote for, everybody's just looking confused. I hear people say, oh, the poll said this, the poll said that. How do you run pool in a society that is illiterate? I'm just thinking out to myself. And anybody can chime in here tonight until we're with Moses. How do you run pool in a society? How do you determine who's in the race, who's in the lead, rather? Because I hear people say, "Oh, the pool said this person in the lead by this percentage." Is it the radio stations they're listening to that determine that? And when the callers call, how are they determining who in the lead? So everything seems to be confusing. I don't even know if there's preparation now by the Elections Commission regarding polling centers they've identified. They want to make sure those places are ready, protected, electricity in place, bathrooms, water running. If not, have tankers there with water to. So, what's the preparation for all these things they're talking in election? We are days away. I would take the weeks now. We're days away. So, what's the preparation? So it seems that everybody just look confused. Everybody looks confused. Because anyone here can agree with me that by this time, we need to know honestly where our polling stations are and how prepared. The Elections Commission should be giving updates on a daily basis so that where things are getting in the jam, the world can know, the donors can know. But instead, all we know, we go into election and everybody, October 10, October 10, October 10, October 10. That all you waiting for? And you're not prepared? October 10? What you will do? When you want people, you will go put something inside somebody's house? October 10? D-Day? The millions of T-shirts being spread here by the ruling government, put it that way. Buried, all those things. Is that part of the elections or the process that will get us to have a free, credible elections? Did we put monies in there to make sure that the election is going to be free, fair, and credible? When the Elections Commission continue to say, "Oh, you know what? We ain't got enough money. The money they have provided is insufficient." Do we know really whether the ballot boxes are ready and all the printings? Because all those things are supposed to be ready by now. All those things. And I want to hear from you, the viewers here tonight. Tell me, Wayne, tell me if I'm wrong, that these things shouldn't be ready by now. We're going to wait until October 10. Then by 8 o'clock at night, then they put in flashlight to count the votes. Then somebody bringing lantern or using cell phones. For real? Moses, I hope you're ready again. Let me bring you in.
I don't know. We're
No,
just going to move forward, and
no,
then
but moving forward, I'm gonna
other
say if
things.
you
Yeah.
if you go out again, then I would just probably call it a night. Yeah. So
Man, that is technology.
yeah, but
Things
we can
happen.
keep doing this.
Yeah,
So
but
so I was just trying to say the preparation here.
mhm,
We'll come to these candidates now.
yeah,
But where we are 2-3 weeks rather, but days, and we didn't even
it's
see
it's
we're days
28,
away.
28 days.
We're days away. How much do we know if the country is ready for this election through the National Elections Commission? So all the campaign team we're about to talk about, is it a part of the process? How you will be talking about Christmas party and then and the people ain't buy the food, they buy the drinks, they got music, they got anything until the day of the party, Christmas Day, they're looking for, oh, Where the other man? Where the DJ? What is
And the
that?
train even get you have not even gotten gifts yet for the
Yeah,
children.
yeah. Well, come in, my man.
Yeah, but I would say we should just kick it off. And let's kick it off with this press release that emanated from the U.S. Embassy. Volcano, every day we talk about this election being consequential, meaning that the outcome of this election will determine whether Liberia remains a stable country or not. And the U.S. Embassy has added its voice to that. The U.S. shot a fear to Liberia, Catherine Rodriguez, this week issue a press release, or the embassy issue a press release saying that the United States and the international community are interested in having access to all polling stations and places where votes or ballots will be tallied. That means a lot, Volcano. It means that they are concerned about what is happening in the country. And the bigger message is sends is that we just don't trust the process. Let me give it to you. What's your thought?
But in terms of trusting the process, that's what I'm saying here. How sure are we that all of the things to make this election free, fair, and credible are in place?
That's right.
Please silence the phone.
Yeah.
How are we sure? We're days away. What is the opposition saying?
Yeah.
What is coming saying? What is the demand from the opposition bloc to say, Mr. Government, it is your responsibility to make sure that this and this and this and this, as per the elections law, the resources that's supposed to be provided. So, in fact, before we start to go to the election, we want to make sure these things are in place.
Mm-hmm.
If these things are not in place, we got to start making the noise now. Oh no! But all everybody wants to do is to wait for October 10. And then when you get to October 10, you hit a brick wall. By this time, Mr. Barker, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Weir himself, Gonglo, all of them should be talking about where this voting going to take place and whether the resources are in place. Forget about the campaign now. And I use the word forget about the campaign now. The campaign is insignificant if on elections day you have all these irregularities, Moses. And that is why the international community through the U.S. ambassador is saying that. Of course, yes. We want you, Mr. Government, to make sure that all of the mechanisms are in place to ensure the election is free and fair.
And that we want equal access. Can
Equal
you
access.
imagine that? We want to we want poll watchers at the polling centers. We want poll watchers to also be a part of the group that will be monitoring how ballots or vote casts will be tallied. The bigger message the international community is sending is that the current administration has integrity problem. The government has integrity problem. That people are saying that we have to stand over you, literally stand over you to see what you're doing, because we are concerned about the way things are happening in the country. If you have one political party that is outspending all the other political parties, and the National Elections Commission Volcano is looking the other way, you have public officials campaigning, and these are all acts that violate the code of conduct, violate the election laws of Liberia, then I think I agree with the international community that we need to stand over these people to see what they are doing.
Yeah, yeah. And just think about it. Liberia is selling electricity to the Africa coast, right? Accordingly.
Yeah.
But I can imagine on elections day. And that is why the issues room would be in Liberia to some of the polling stations. I want to be at the polling station where President Weah is voting. I want to be at the polling station where um, Mr. Boyka is voting, Mr. Cummings. I hope they're not too far within the confines of where those uh, polling station would be placed. But I want to see really if I can go to the bathroom and use the bathroom. I want to be around 8 o'clock at night to see if really we're gonna have electricity since we're selling electricity out there. I'm concerned about these things. And you're right that the international community sees all of what is happening and how these guys have turned this thing into a fist fight, you know,
Yeah.
figuratively fist fight. That is why they want to make sure that the gains they've made in terms of peace and stability is not eroded by corruption. Because how can you run around a place and just be yelling 110, 110, 110?
Yeah. They already
Something not right.
predetermined. Yeah,
Something not
predetermined.
right here.
Hmm.
You didn't come to power on 110. Ellie Johnson certainly did not win both elections on 110. But how soon as you come there now, you say this next one at 110.
Yeah.
Because you put people in the Antoinette Tubman Stadium in standing capacity of maybe 20 to 25, 30,000. You know, when I say standing capacity, you
Yeah.
know, so at least they kind of crunch body to body. And then you assume now it's one term.
That's one time. Yeah.
Is that for real?
Yeah.
So I guess what you said is important, but let's go to Mr. Cummings quick, since we
Yeah.
wanted to look at some of the videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at what they are saying. Yeah. The candidates.
And yeah, and we a little bit talk about it.
Hmm.
Queen Abib Liberia is saying that even up to date, we don't know the actual number of the census.
Oh, yeah. That's
Okay,
true.
so many things have been abandoned. Those things that should have happened, taken place, set the precedent, put things in order before we go to this election. So many things happening. Like you talked about, one party, the incumbent party, is outspending all of the other parties.
Hmm.
People literally giving money, giving rice. You know, I saw a clip where the guys they read would eat it, but when they team when I vote for it, but they read would eat it. Yeah,
Yeah. When I vote for you, you bring your money, we will eat it.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So let's hear. So I thought, what, we can't always say we go with the big guns.
Yeah. We start for anybody. Yeah.
Let's start with with one of the guns. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
so one of the guns is Mr. Alexander Cummings. Let's hear what Mr. Cummings says tonight, for a little bit, and then we'll come back to talk about it.
There are several things we have to do to improve the lives of Liberians. Uh, this is in no particular order because we have to do all of these things. First thing we have.
So you heard what he said. There are several things to improve the lives of Liberia, and it's in no particular order because we have to do all of these things. And like I said, everything in Liberia is in shambles, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. In shambles.
And
Yeah.
there's no particular order. So he's right here.
Hmm.
We have to find the money.
But listen to that part. We have to find the money.
He's
So
right.
he's not coming here and telling you like the people say, "Oh, Joe, we had a millionaire." So then he come, he will clean all the roads. He will put skyscraper. He will put electricity. We have pipe bomb water. Like we had lay 80 million dollars that they clean 80 million dollars
Yeah.
to fix Liberia. So he's telling you now all these things are here, but we got to find the money.
He's being honest about that.
We want to fix healthcare. We want to fix it, but we gotta find the money to do it right. So the way we find the money is one, we'll stop the stealing.
So we got to find the money. But the way to find the money, yes, we'll stop this stealing, Moses. And the point I made earlier while you were offline is
Hmm.
that billions of dollars have gone through our corridors, our economy, over the last 20 plus years since 2005. Okay, and only individuals we see came out of it wealthy. The country is still lopsided. We don't even have functioning traffic lights in the country. We don't even have fire station in the country. You
And
understand? So
yeah,
we got to stop the stealing.
yeah, and let me just give you an example of what Mr. Cummins is saying. Um, can you imagine a Natana McGill who a few years ago could not, imagine anyone in the United States earning, $30,000 a year? So that tells you that McGill came from a very impoverished, background. So the guy came to Philadelphia. I was in this gathering, and he asked if any of us in our gathering was earning $30,000 a year, and people burst into laughter because he came across as ignorant. He didn't know the kind of people he was talking to, you know. So I saw McGill telling people in Margibi
Yeah.
that if the government cannot build the rules, he will build the rules. So like Mr. Cummins is saying, where did McGill get all this money from now to start talking about
Building roads.
taking on projects that government should be building roads?
And do you know how much for 1 mile road?
No.
It's almost $2 million. And I'm
Yeah.
saying 1 mile on one side, not two lane going side by side, just one
Hmm.
side of it. It's
Yeah.
about $2 million now.
Yeah.
You understand me? Just so where is he taking the money from to
Where are you
promise
gonna take
road?
that money
One
from?
mile road is nothing. It's just right up the street here. All right. So let's hear Mr. Cummings. He said we got to stop the stealing.
Stop
Yes.
this stealing. He's right.
So that not just a few people can benefit from the country. Today, there are a few people in the executive branch, in the legislative branch, who are eating all the money, they're stealing the money, and then they decide. Later, they decide who to live and who to die because they decide, oh, I will give money to go to the hospital, I will give money for education, I will give money to bury somebody. That's not the role. The state should do it. If you have an organized government where the money is used for the benefit of the people, you don't need people to decide individually whether you live or not.
Thank
That's
you.
absolute truth.
Thank
Absolute
you.
Moses. That these guys said, wasn't we are justifying and some of the people in the legislature justifying why they need excess money because people are counting them
People,
out.
yeah, people come to them to beg. Yeah. Yeah.
But you created that
You created a
because you put
condition.
your arms around everything.
Tuition,
You
people
know,
queuing out to your house to pay the children tuition because you failed to create jobs. You made the people beggars. You heard Mr. Cummings
yeah,
say
you
you
determine who
had,
lives or
yeah,
dies.
they determine who lives or who doesn't, who goes to school or who doesn't. Take, for example, Sir Joseph. Sir Joseph, who is Sir Joseph to determine whether the people of Monrovia can have public transportation? An institution established by government, he came, he undermined the entire process, shut it down. He part of the legislative branch of government when he should be advocating for affordable transportation. But he and the others undermined the process. And today you have Sir Joseph transportation system. That's what Mr. Comey is talking about. Who is a Thomas father to determine who goes to college or who doesn't go to college? Who is the Minister of Education to determine who gets better education or not when he has public institutions all over the place? I mean, when he has private institutions all over the place, when he's supposed to be using that money to run the public institutions, but yet he's more focused on his or private institution. The Minister of Health does the same. So to determine who gets killed and who doesn't get killed. You go to JFK, no drugs. But you go to this woman private clinic, they have everything. That's what Mr. Comey is talking about.
So we'll start the stealing and when we will find the money. Then Liberia has a lot of natural resources. We'll make sure that the Liberian people are getting the benefit from the natural resource, getting the money. Recently, you heard about what happened in the Western Cluster, the gold or the dam and everything moving, and a few people benefiting, a few lawmakers. But the majority of Liberian people, if you go to the Western Cluster, they are among the least developed parts of the country. Yeah, we got all of those resources. So we are just, we're not going to push anybody out of the country. The concessions that are there, they can say that, but they can take a pay on our fair share. And then we'll invest it in these things. That's what will be different, right? We'll find the money to do it. Then we will engage Liberians, people, you and us. We the ones that are going to change this country. Our so-called international partners, yeah, they will help us. We want to help, but we. So we want Liberians to work together. We want to think differently about each other. We want to collaborate. So we engage Liberians differently. We will make sure we make Liberian businesses successful. Private sector. This is government. The government has it. If government were a solution, Liberia would be better off today. We are the oldest republic in Africa. We are among the least developed countries in Africa.
And I like this point. If government was the solution, Liberia would be better off today.
Sure.
Absolute truth. Government has never been the solution. The private sector is the solution. That is why America is where America is today. That is why developed nations are where they are today. Private investment. You have a country now a government for 6 years. All that una did there, that on the table. All that una did is in the pockets. As a result, the downtrodden masses, the ordinary people, are left in shambles.
Yeah.
This is what the man is saying. And with his private sector background, I give that to him.
No,
I give that to him.
I give it to Mr. Cummins 100%. And one thing I like about him, whenever he makes a public pronouncement, it is policy driven. He doesn't make off the cuff statements. I need to respect him for that. He knows exactly what he wants and he knows exactly what to do to accomplish that. That's one of the strength that he brings to the presidential race. That I know what I want and I know how I'm going to do it. Like he said, the private sector drives the nation's economy. It's not people working in government. Government only employs what? 70,000 people a year. So then what happened to the rest of the people now? Those people should be working in the what? Private sectors. And that's what Mr. Weir and his people have failed over the year. Created no jobs.
Hmm.
No jobs for
And
Canada.
all the jobs are created in the government.
Yeah.
Expanding the government, like I said the other night here, you got the National Transport Authority that says that we ain't got no resources, but they put anything in the budget except salary. So you pay people to just go play Chuckle and Lulu and play on their cell phone and be on Facebook,
Yeah, just sit down.
just sit down all day. You create an institution and put people there, you appoint people, and you made those people to hire people who are doing nothing. Isn't that a burden on the government? So yeah, so this man is right. The government has never been the solution and will never be the solution. But let's hear here a little more.
The Ghanaian and 60 years old, I think, if you go right here to Bowada side, you cross the border. The road from Bowada side to Freetown better than the road from Bowada side to Central Monrovia. So we all gotta work differently. We gotta collaborate. We gotta support each other. We will support Nigerian businesses. We will let the private sector, meaning businesses, they want to create, not the government. So this dependence on job will do different, and that will change the country. So those are some of the things we'll do different. Those are some of the hows and the whats. The what we'll do is that one easy. Everybody will say that one, right? Those who will face the role, this education, but the how we do it, we gotta find the money. We gotta do things differently. We will use the private sector and not just depend on government to do everything. We will make Liberia an agricultural based economy.
But
It
listen,
belongs to
listen here, Moses. Listen to what the guy say. It's
Mhm.
easy to say that what we would do,
Yeah,
and that's why all of these people running around the place with the what
yeah,
we would do,
yeah.
but the
The
how.
concrete actions, yeah,
Yeah,
the concrete actions
no,
that
no,
need to
no.
be taken.
Yeah, yeah,
The how, yeah.
yeah. The how we would do what we said we would do. They can't even articulate those things.
No.
And this is what he's saying. We'll
Mhm.
stop the corruption. We'll stop the stealing. We invest in the private
We
sector.
invest in agriculture.
We invest in the private sector. Bring the private sector in to create opportunities, and we'll go into agriculture.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things here that can be done for Liberia, but it needs the right candidate. It's easier to articulate all of this too when you get there and you go the other way.
Yeah.
So it's a whole nother game here. But so far, I would say that he has said some very powerful things that can help our country move forward.
He has an idea in terms of where he wants to see Liberia. So we should applaud him for that. He knows what he wants. He has a strategy how to get there. We should
So
applaud him. Yeah.
Jackie McCaffrey is saying here, the
Hmm.
question is, what have you done? So who is the you, Shaggy? Are you asking Cummings what has he done? Well, I know I'm not a Cummings man, but I think Cummings has his investment in Liberia. For the most part, he's employed people. From what I've heard, he has a foundation. He's provided support in many ways. So
Even the Booker Washington
yeah,
Institute,
so that's the little
the
I know of
the
him.
generator that there, he's the one who donated that
And
to BWL.
he's doing it out of his pocket.
Hmm.
So it's not a man who take from the government cover and then put a name on it and
Yeah,
say,
it's a donate we as project.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we're donating. So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
in a way, I would say that he's probably done something.
yeah.
Government is the highest employer in the country. How can a country sustain herself without a private sector? Absolutely, it's not possible.
It's not.
Not possible.
It's
It's
not.
not possible. Okay, so I think he says the question is to the 2,000 candidates. You mean
I think many the 20 presidential candidates. Yeah,
but anyhow,
yeah,
also, so we've heard from Mr. Cummings, and
yeah,
I think in this segment here we can grade him at
yeah.
at an
Excellent.
eight, at an eight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He has an idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
we should give him an aid for that.
yeah. Um, and you know, like it or not, this is not about a particular candidate. What we've always prayed for and hoped for is the right person for our country, the right person for our country. But let's hear from Mr. George Opon Bekugbe Baku you strong. Yeah, because he has said he got another thing he's saying here. But
Yeah,
interestingly, Moses,
yeah. Let's listen to Paku.
mhm,
You see that? You see Paku demonstrating?
so, so I make us say, oh, the make us say is the revolution continues
Who will be them?
and we'll beat them again. And the make us say, oh, well, let's listen. Oh, let's listen. I beg you here.
Yeah.
The people that come in, they not knew that the same old people will
The people that come in, they not knew that
That you know, say old people.
you fuck them again, say, yeah.
And then politics issue thing there talking about
Yeah.
so.
they told you in 2017 the car was bad, now the car bad, the tire.
The 2017 car, the park, the tire gone, the muffler
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, everything gone. They say they coming
They're
by.
coming back.
Hey.
The same people that tell they come to rescue you, local will even the simply pay today, simply because of us. Hey.
They say, yeah, Braga
They
living
live in rehab. When
because
he,
of him.
mm,
They tell you that the people they now on them, everybody crying around them, they laugh to everybody say, Runda, Runda, Runda. Oh, the men are well 50 years in government, not do nothing, say, oh, you pay, you coming behind you, pay the best, say. You saw it the other day when we came to the hospital, you come back, as soon as we started to say they want to pay our money, but they not pay the money, say.
So all I want he said the man went, they paid the man hospital,
they
but
send him to the
brought it
hospital.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they brought it up, they said the man said he would pay the money back, but up to now he paid the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Okay, so like yeah,
And my policy thing ain't talking about so.
I remember physical country.
You can't pay the number of the CDC money for it, say. Amanda, 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 Jaja, Mata Police of Jaja, brother, Police of brother, Police of brother, Amanda, 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 Amanda. Oh, say! God bless you.
So, so Volcano.
My man, how you say?
Okay, let me say this
Yeah, go ahead.
to tell you that George, he's a terrible public speaker. The man mounted a podium for almost 5 to 10 minutes. He said nothing of relevance. Missed opportunity. When you should have been telling the people what they have done, what the idea his administration has for a better Liberia, he used that time to throw jab at the former vice president. He forgets to note that the level at which the former vice president served Labrador owes him.
Hmm.
That part of his pension benefit provide health care for him. A huge job we are tomorrow, if he's not in power, it becomes the government responsibility to care for him,
Yeah.
to provide him 24/7 security detail, transportation, pay him retirement benefit. So when the government does that, then the president uses that to gossip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see why every time he mounts the podium, he defeats himself? It just makes him look so terrible. He doesn't understand governance.
Hmm.
No. I mean, Volcano, you saw the man.
I think.
Wasted 10 minutes.
Well, let me just put this right to you. What do you expect when you take a soccer player who that's how he knows how to motivate his teammates?
Yeah.
The man it appeared like he was going on to play a soccer game.
Yeah. We beat them before, we can beat them again.
That's
Right.
that's a soccer persona that he's portraying.
Yeah. Mhm.
Football.
Mhm.
We what we call we in the
Oh, in the dressing room,
yeah in the
getting
dressing
ready to go
room.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting ready to go play.
Remember, we beat up people again today. We did it before, we can do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
man
yeah.
down the wall said that yeah, he rallying his boys,
Yeah. Mobilizing there. Yeah.
mobilizing his boys now to go on the field. But all the game they play, he has said they beat him. All that soccer no all that chanting he was doing was beating Lone Star like hey.
So now you tell me, Volcano, is this how you mobilize people to re-elect you?
Yeah. So people are saying, yeah, if that man gets a second term, I give up.
Of course.
Liberia said, the man doesn't understand life.
No.
Maria Gardel said, it's soccer rally.
That what you were doing, yeah. Maria, you're absolutely right.
So we are in a serious problem. But listen, it doesn't end there. Let's continue this thing. I'm enjoying it. Enjoying it. What's it? So so what this video is doing here is
Yeah.
show the ineptability in his
Yeah.
government and the people he put in power,
Yeah.
opposition rather,
Mhm.
who have no clue of their jobs, and they go to confirmation hearing or not confirmation
Yeah, and how
uh,
hearing at the Senate, yeah.
Senate standing committee hearing,
Mhm.
and they make a lot of mess. The people in the pain. All right. That the NTA people.
Yeah.
She said a gloss.
You see Paku? See that?
So it means that he personally has written this because the clothes he was in our other one and not the clothes here.
No, that
So
different place.
a new campaign now that he mean campaign.
My man, the campaign message that they
All right.
met for 5 months to memorize that thing. You know?
Okay,
Yeah,
let's hear
yeah.
it, man. Let it bring her back.
The benefit is 1,070 pence on the gasoline price. Just give her the raw data. Yeah. So the MPO of 4,000.
That's the MTA you were talking about, yeah.
The chairman is asking you, besides the growth, what else does he get? He said 1,000 what? He get gasoline which is 350 gallon. And he won't
350 gallons of gasoline.
Gasoline,
One
yeah.
man getting
1
just
minute.
ride around Maria potholes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
50 gallons every month. Yeah, every month. It's going to calculate based on the gasoline pump price for that particular month.
Can you imagine? If it go higher, then he gets more money, oh.
So if we are okay, so now the 350 gallon will be 1,750. Okay. And what else? Scratch that 350.
Can you imagine? Phone card, my man.
Yeah, scratch that. Every month? Yeah. 8149 now I can give you 1 month. Service. 350. Anything for you to see, man? Anything for you to see, man, on the division? No. What about rent?
So she's using her cell phone to do quick calculations though. So they didn't come
And
prepared. Now she's jotting down, right?
she's from the finance office, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
You see the MD sitting over there?
Rent? No.
That's the MD sitting right over there.
shadow man and looking.
Yeah.
You
You
see
see
all
there?
the also there.
Yeah.
You see them drinking mineral water.
Mm-hmm.
You see all the plenty cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And the entity they work for is literally down.
doing nothing. Oh,
Nothing. They get free money.
they're just getting paid. Doing
Yeah.
nothing. Show up doing nothing.
Nothing.
Did I even?
Nothing.
The funny thing is they don't even have the ingenuity to find a way
Mhm.
to make themselves relevant. To say,
No.
okay, you know what? Outside of government resources, what are we gonna do here? What can we do here? What can we do here? You know, they're not.
But
They
but
just
you have insiders of the government who's siding with Sir Joseph to undermine the work of these people.
my man. Let's leave out the talk. Stop because there's no justification for such bosses for a whole ministry or an entity by the government with no resources but paying salary. My concern is paying salary, making
But
it. Look how the garden looking. Look how they looking correct. They just eating free money. They ain't working for it.
no.
The gasoline allowance of 350 gallons a month, and then 350 Dallas. East Pascal. What's the total monetary value? 6,460. So in effect, the MD, there's 6,000 what? 460. The dividend? The dividend is 4,450. Well, you sum everything, right? Yeah. That means it goes across the all dividends. So yeah, all dividends. How many dividends do you have? We have two. Two dividends? Yeah. Okay. We'll start with one. So the in the simple way they say the smaller one in the oil in the bag when I ain't going to do it, I say. The simple way say they want to rescue, we want to rescue them, how they can rescue, say. God bless you all.
Definitely speaking of, my man.
So, Mr. Chairman, thank you. MD, and please, I like your posture because you're not getting upset about these details. We want to know exactly how the agency is working, and I like your.
You see, Milton Teja can piss me off. You complimenting the man that you like his posture because he's not getting angry.
But what's there to get angry
He
about when
doesn't
the
get
woman
angry.
is reporting the truth?
And not only that the woman is reporting what she knows so far, how sure are we there isn't more to that,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, you're right.
And
How
what
sure
does
are
he
we?
expect
Yeah.
for monies you getting and you're not working for it? There's no function in this
No,
institution under this government. No function.
a function.
Posture. Now, let me go a little further.
They will get free paycheck, my man.
Are you saying that because you wrote the Ministry of Finance in advance to put a money up front for the servicing or the overhaul of this equipment, the Ministry of Finance has not come through? So you've been routing these, using these buses without any compliance with the fundamental rule that the Indian government gave us, right?
Yeah.
To serve the public? Yes, sir.
No maintenance.
So you've been running the buses in the absence of complying with what the donor told you to do because finance ministry is not giving you money. Well, I won't put it that hard. Like when you say the instructions was not taken. Uh, yes, the instruction was taken, but we had two options as management. We met and we decided that if these parts cannot get to us, what do we do? The public need to be served.
So then you ride the buses in defective conditions, you only damaging it further.
Yeah.
Because if your car oil need to be changed and you don't change the oil, you're only gonna at
You're
one
going to damage your transmission.
right? You're gonna lock the engine.
Yeah.
If the tires are not road worthy, there's a potential that you may have serious accident that may kill many people on the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just lead the other man. So Moses, this is what Mr. Weah is telling us he's going to give us again
Yeah.
as Liberians. Put inept people in positions who can do the job but getting free salary on the Liberian people. You
Yeah.
tell me.
But Volcano, sometimes when we say these things, people say we get overly, critical in looking at Mr. Weir. And how do you expect someone to select a team of professionals, to select people that will produce when he himself doesn't understand what needs to be done? He's not interested in learning, his job duties. He's not interested in going to work. He spent, his entire time on leisure. So it is man is so fixated on leisure. What time does he have to monitor and track the performance of his employees? You become a good manager when you can monitor, when you can supervise, when you can redirect. Mr. Weir lacks that ability. So then what do you expect him to do? So this is the case that the opposition is making, that re-electing Mr. Weir, you know, would be the worst thing that will ever happen to Liberia.
Hmm. If you're just
Yeah.
joining us, welcome to the Issues Room. We are here with our 184th broadcast tonight. We are looking at what the candidates are saying. We just heard from Mr. Cummings, who had some very brilliant points he put forth, the what to do and how to do those what to do's. While on the other hand, the incumbent Mr. Weir is throwing jabs and battling and singing battle cries and rallying the troops with the Zegwe Zegwe and the Muya Muya and throwing all the hints at his
Remember that.
formidable running opponent, Mr. Joseph Boyka. But let's hear from Mr. Boyka before we get to that. Please continue to share the link. Invite others to join us here tonight. Shaki McCaffrey, Thomas Awaji, my man, good to see you. I know you're not feeling well, but hang there with us. Flomo Livingstone, Godwin Weado, Raymond Clark. We say, guys, thank you for joining us here. Liberia, Maria Gadel, Queen Abib Liberia, Queen Abib Liberia, we say thank you for stopping by tonight. Good to see you, and we look forward to more of your viewership. Amar Frima, of course, Mohammed Kruma, Emmanuel Jackson. Thank you guys for coming in here tonight. Let's continue to have this conversation. And our lady Tonia Brooks from Trenton, New Jersey, and Adiaha Umo in Australia, who is also here with us. Manen Sumo, of course, who is here with us tonight. We encourage you to continue to love us, like us, follow us. We are the alternative to the social media platforms out here in the Facebook world, the YouTube world. We can also be seen on Twitter and LinkedIn. So we encourage you. Continue to join us here Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Moses, again, we want to go quickly to Mr. Boyka. Let's hear what he has to say.
The people here, they believe that life is about themselves. Everybody must worship them. I don't want anybody worshiping me. I want people's lives to be improved. We sat down for years. They say we should leave the country with young people. That's true. But we're not talking about young people who don't want to leave better country for other young people. Huh?
They said we should leave the country for the young people, but we can't leave the country to young people who don't want to leave a better country for other young people.
Isn't that true? Volcano? Let's let's be objective here. What the former vice president said. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
How do you say you want a young man to lead a country when your healthcare system is in trouble, education in trouble? The country has become ungovernable, complete breakdown in in rule of law. No one is accountable. No one goes to work. People just get paid for doing nothing. No productivity because no one is monitoring, no one is supervising anybody.
All right, let's continue.
We took a young man, just a young man. You worship him, but has your life improved since the last 8 years? Do you have hope in this country? Are you living in good quarters? Are your children's future guaranteed? Are your parents living in a way that you can support them? Are you satisfied with that? This is what we want to change. We want to change that. We want to change it. I will feel very happy if I know that our young people are decent, they are in good schools, the classrooms are clean, and they feel proud of themselves. It makes me feel happy. It's not about how many houses are built. I would die and leave the houses. What about the other people? It's the life of the people. And I'm telling you, Liberians, this is a very serious moment in this country. This is a time in which we want to take this country from where it was for all the years and make it look like a country that you can have hope in. Let me tell you, your parents who have worked for years, some of them are pension. Do they get money? Nothing. Other countries, you can live. When you leave job, you know you can make money still. You can't take care of yourself. You can't take care. If you don't take care of your children, I don't know whether you say you love them, they will not respect you. They will not respect you. And we are talking about when I go around, don't see me looking, I'm looking at how our people live. We're going to District 12. I went on that road, chicken soup factory. The silt, the water. How can a leader just go and ride all right? You can't see the condition of your people. The people who elected you, so you don't care about them. We will never ever be in a community where we see every community here must have a decent playground for the children. Every community must have some good drinking water, electricity. This is not privilege for special people. It's for the citizens. We live in a country, we must be respected. And we are saying to you, this is the time to take that one vote. Because if you let it go 2 times, they start negotiating. We don't want negotiation. We want from day one, Liberians will begin to feel that they are in their country, that they only go to other places to visit, not because they believe these countries are better than they are. Today we are here, you all stand here. We're not paying you. We're not paying you. The young children, look at that trying to climb up to see us. We're not better than you. We are giving us the responsibility to make your life better. And that's what we want to do. And that's what
Giving us the responsibility to make your life better, and that's what we want to do. Talked about, people who have worked all their lives and retire and nothing to show for it. They can't even take care
He's
of
an
their kids.
example of that. Yeah.
Can't even take care of their kids. And no matter how you love your children, if you're not providing for them, they're not going to respect you.
Oh,
And that's what he said. While this other president talking about the people say they were parked car in the garage, their
yeah.
tire finished now and the engine all stopped.
Yeah. We beat them before we can
Before
beat
we
them
beat them
again.
again. Is that what you're telling the Liberian people? For real? So we wanted to listen to some of these messages and see how it's going to resonate. But Moses, I think we should go one step further.
Yeah. And
Here's the wisdom.
just before we go, right,
Okay.
I just wanted to say that when you do the comparative analysis, you put Omer Boakai and Mr. Cummins at the same level. I would give both of them A because
Yes.
they have an idea in terms of where they want to take Liberia.
Yeah. And Thomas Awaji said he would give Cummings a B because his delivery was poor. And yes, the presentation, meaning the way he delivered,
Yeah, it matters. It matters too. Yeah, yeah.
it's a couplet kind of you talking to the board, so
Mhm.
you're not gonna be,
Yeah,
exuberant and lively and stuff like that. Cummings always made presentation to the board.
yeah.
He
As
used
an
PowerPoint.
executive, yeah,
Braga, the politician, has this gesturization, the hand, the high tune, when to raise it,
yeah.
in what he want to say, So yeah, so Cummings need to come out presidentially, right?
Hmm.
Uh, he has the substance, he has the deliverables, but the delivery in terms of bringing that message. Even when they show the audience, you saw the Jeremy was that laid back kind of,
Yeah.
when he was talking to them. So more like he was teaching rather than
Yeah.
campaign, sending a message.
Campaigning. Yeah.
So, but
Mhm.
yeah,
But in terms of
yeah,
content, I will put both of them on the same level. In terms of content,
I
their
would say,
ideas,
I
yeah.
would say, let's stop there, Moses, and I like to call a spade a spade. All
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
I would say that Cummings presented the why and the how.
Hmm.
I am telling you that Boyka is talking about the why, and he pointing to the ills, but he hasn't said how.
No,
He
he,
hear anything about the how.
yeah,
Let's be
I
clear.
heard how he
Okay.
said,
All right.
say
Tell me.
for example, right? He said, your life or the living condition of our people has got to improve. And when we take over, we will make sure that there are playgrounds in the community for
It's
the
still
kids
the
to
what?
play.
Moses, don't do that.
No,
Don't let us
no.
go back and
What will you do
no,
and
no,
how
no.
you gonna do it?
It's still the what? It's still we'll have playground. How
Mhm.
will you build playground? Cummings told you how.
Okay.
Mr. Burger is just telling us the what yet. And that's where
What to, he has identified the problem and he has stated what need to be done. How is it going to be done? Okay, I give it to you on that. He has
so
not
yeah,
been
so
able to
he can't
articulate that.
I'm not giving him no A here tonight.
No, that's what I'm
B.
saying.
So he
Mhm.
gotta be.
Okay.
All right?
So, mhm,
Okay, he gotta be. In his
okay,
messaging, he needs to start telling the Liberian people the how.
okay. But again,
And
when you look at the
honestly,
three, yeah,
yeah, so let's go back here to Mr. Weir.
okay. Now listen to Mr. Weir again.
No, but I don't hear no more Zegwe.
But as
When
a good man coming with that,
Shaggy,
all he knows.
Shaggy gave the man F. So in honesty, I think Cummings did extremely well, even though his
Yeah, in
presentation was
content wise, he had,
wide. He presented
a
the
very
what.
excellent presentation. Yeah.
Uh, Braga, on the other hand, has the exuberant. As old as he is, he's still loud. He's still able to talk.
Hmm.
Compared to the young boy who just doing football playing,
Yeah.
slogans, and he's talked about it. Why you continue to talk? And I wanted to create this piece quick, and but you
Yeah.
cut me off now.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This is it because I was about to draw our attention to where we are with all of this, right?
Yeah.
Who would be affected more if Liberia doesn't change? That was where I wanted to go.
That would be the people.
No, 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 it's not the people per se, the people in general, but the people, the component of the people that would be more affected are the young people,
Of course.
right?
Hmm.
But when you look at the majority, those first time voters and the so-called youth who are 30-year olds say the youth, 40-year olds say the youth, right?
Hmm.
That's the fear for our country comes October 10. That's the fear. And when I look at Cummings and I look at Boyka, I say that these two men complement each other so well.
Yeah.
Complement each other so well that had they held the CPP together, we wouldn't be having any of this kind of conversation. We wouldn't be having this conversation. They complement each other so well. So I don't know to what extent that anything can be fixed if we went to the second round. And you remember, you're coming quick. I don't
Hmm.
want to
Go
lose my
ahead.
thought again.
No, go ahead.
And you remember the other day when I said to you, with the bitter pill or the Kojolobo,
Yeah.
when they get to the second round, is there a possibility that Cummings, with the influence of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and his own people, to say, listen, I'm not supporting Bwaka? Or you are coming, Moses.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
listening to you. Go
I'm not
ahead.
I'm not supporting Bwaka, or I will support Wia, or you decide for yourself. So I will not make no declaration, because when the leader of the party makes a declaration, right?
Hmm.
Makes a declaration, it sends volume. But when the leader of the party said, you know what, I'm going to abstain, but you're my partisans, you're my members, you can make your decision. That's the fear.
Mhm.
Because I don't think that Gonglo and Bwaga are so bitter at each other. I don't think that Gonglo and Cummings are so bitter at each other. I think in this triangle, it's the Wea, the Bwaga, and the Cummings. Come.
Yeah, I agree with you that where we find ourselves or where Liberia finds itself now is the country is between the rock and the high ground. And this is where I will want to surmise that if they get to a point that there has to be a second round, I think the politicians or the political parties that prioritize or that post Liberia's interests above personal ego, I think they will all come together and put up a fight because this is not debatable. The performance of the we administration over the years, is very, very despicable. And most Liberians do not want a repeat of this.
Mm.
Liberians cannot afford to have another country that will be self governed, a country that will be on autopilot. I don't think Liberians want that. So I'm sure that taking all of these factors into consideration, Liberians will decide that it is just time that Mr. Weah go. I mean, they don't hate him as an individual, but he's just not performing.
Mm.
Volcano, the guy is not performing. If you serve as president for 5 years, going to six or say 6 years, and you cannot articulate why you should be re-elected, but you waste the people time chanting political slogans, that's a serious problem.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Volcano, if you call in an individual to interview the person for opposition, and the person cannot clearly articulate his work experience over the years, will you hire that man?
Wow.
If the man is coming in to perform a particular task, he apply, you say, yeah, come. Okay, what experience do you have with reference to this position? And the man cannot articulate that in few sentences. Will you hire that man? Of course not.
Okay. Let's steal away with Mr. Gonglo. Let us not
Mhm.
leave
Yeah.
him out. Let's see
Okay.
what he
Yeah. Let's hear
says.
what Mr. Gonglo has to say.
The Reverend just said we can make America right here. Yeah. That for me has always been a vision. And I feel that it is a vision that we cannot give the mission to anyone else to accomplish. John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can give you, but what you can give to your country. And Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Then Albert Einstein said, the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything. Yeah. I cannot stand by to see my country in a virtual ICU, but the next thing is we're in a grave. I told people if we let our country proceed along this line and vote the way we voted in 2017, we will be committing national suicide. So they show the way. I have four quick projects that I want to achieve for Liberia. Some people want to be president for their name to be in history, for popularity to be known. I've passed all those. I'm an international human rights award winner. My name is already in history. And you read that one of the book, you read when I was young, we were in the peaceful process. My name is there. I'm not looking for recognition. I saw this country in a way that was a little bit better when I was at the university in the 70s, and we were thinking about a better future. But I can tell you, little bit more children, that Nigeria is worse off than when I was in college. And we all have a duty to at least transform it a little bit. Here is what was happening. I have four projects, and there are things that happened here before. One, I want free education for every child from kindergarten to 12th grade in all government schools. And for private schools to be heavily subsidized by government. You cannot believe that I want to Catholic school in elementary school I was paying $12 a year. That was because government heavily subsidized the Catholic schools, the private schools, so that all Nigerian children can go to school. Textbooks are given to every child. Students both in government school and private schools get care food, free food. I heard a president say the other day, I've never been free food. I said, no, which street you talking about? I ate free food. We want to do that. We want to open free technical and vocational schools for all Liberian children in 15 countries. It is doable. One may start up, the government did not continue. We can eliminate illiteracy in 2 years. If you don't know how to read and write, you can't use the food. You are not living in the world today. It is an obligation of the government to eliminate illiteracy. It is written in Article 6 of the Constitution that it is a responsibility of the government to educate Liberian children and eliminate illiteracy. So it's a constitutional duty. It's not a matter of choice. Then we want to improve the health system. I said on first day as president, I will tell the cabinet minister and everybody in the government that government will not spend 1 cent for everybody to travel and go for medical treatment. If we don't fix the system, we'll all die. Yeah.
So let's stop there. He
Yeah.
talked about two things. First, education.
Mhm.
To eradicate illiteracy within 2 years. Subsidizing private school, at the same time making education at the
Universal law.
elementary, no, not university, elementary to high school free.
Mhm. Mhm.
They didn't mention university to high
Okay.
school free. So that's the one of the four things he wants to do. Then he talked about the healthcare,
Mhm.
and on day one, he will tell his ministers, all his officials in the government, that if you don't get treated in Liberia, you're not leaving this country. And that's one of the how, right?
Yeah.
And that how means that the money you would take to go to Ghana,
Invested. Yeah.
invest it in Ghanaian doctors and Ghanaian nurses' salary, Ghanaian institution, you can invest it here in our country.
Mhm.
So with the corruption money in our steal and keeping it in the closet, you have to spend it here.
Go to JFK.
Yeah. So let's continue.
If a health system is not good for the president and those who serve in the government, that is not good for the citizens.
That's
If
true.
the healthcare system is not good for the president and those who serve in the government, that they have to leave the country every time to go to foreign countries for treatment, then it's not good for the citizens.
Mhm.
So I will visit hospitals. JFK, you go there today and tell me about mine, they'll give you prescription and say go to Lucky Pharmacy. Yeah. And if JFK does not have tablet, I don't expect the clinic in Workers and Lofa Country to have tablets. No. But the hospital in Maryland County, JJ Johnson Hospital, to have medicine. Because that's the biggest hospital in Nigeria. I go there and say, as president, I give a medical checkup. Mr. President, we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have that. So what is the head? You are fired. And check over to the police for the investigation. Of course, I'm a lawyer. I know what to do. I teach law. So you go, investigated and put in jail. When 10 heads of hospitals and clinics are in jail, no medicine will disappear for anyone. That's the solution. We will also provide free medical services for pregnant women, children under the age of 5, and all Liberians 65 years or up. Under Taliban government, pregnant women and children under the age of 5 did not pay any money at children in medicine in pharmacy. What I've added is the old age people for 65 years old. Then, food production. The only thing we consider food in this country is rice. It became all of us here, yam and gravy, we eat it tomorrow, we say we are not easy. Unless we eat rice. So when we don't grow rice, the only way to keep price of rice down to make it available is for us to grow it. In other countries, agriculture is mechanized. My plan is to mechanize rice production by giving machines purchased by government to all of the farmers in the 15 countries through the Farmers Cooperative on the sub-loan given by the Revitalized Agriculture and Cooperative Development Bank that will be paid in 15 years. What rice we produce here in the 15 countries who will make big farms like Standard Rubber Company or Firestone. If we have big farms like that, rice will be here. I have a more revolutionary addition to that. That as commander in chief of the army as president of one of the military will grow not less than 100 acres of rice in each of the 15 countries, and they will do it. So we have the agriculture.
So that's a how, right? He
Yeah,
talked
you
about it, right?
prepare the house, right?
And he
Know
talked
about the
about
problem. Yeah, yeah.
mechanized farming,
Hmm.
getting loan from the agricultural cooperative bank to pay back in 15 years, buy the equipment, put it out
Hmm.
there. But also as commander in chief, say, Mr. Military, I need certain quantity of rice in the 15 counties because the military
Agriculture battalion is there. Yeah.
yeah, you got the engineering battalion, you
Hmm.
got all the different battalions in the military, but everybody just sitting down. Everybody's
Because
sitting down.
no support.
And I believe in 2 to 3 years, Liberia will become a rice exporter rather than a rice importer. In India, with 1.3 billion people to export rice, we can do it.
That's true.
And the last thing we do today, when I was growing up, you could leave from Kepalas, that's Hapa, in the morning and reach Nigeria the same day, usually taxi. Because government put public workstations everywhere in the 15 countries to keep the roads routine. That idea I brought into my plan. That when I became president, we put public workstations in all of the 15 countries to maintain the roads and build more farm to market roads for goods to move to the market for people to move freely. That's something I've worked before. I don't know why people like to get rid of good ideas. So this is what I'll do. Because I went to Campus in 1979 as a student leader, and I took taxi everybody who knew Campus, Green Street in Harper City, at 6 o'clock in the morning. By 9 p.m. on the same day, I was in Condover. But the last time I went to Campus in March, I went to the Southeast as a politician. I think you've seen my picture on the internet. I took several days. In fact, between Retro and Harper, cars were getting stuck in March, dry season. So,
So yeah, Moses, Thomas Awaji says here they all have
Yeah.
great plans, but the implementation is going to be the challenge. And he's right. He's right because we've heard some great stuff. We are saying, oh, Liberians will not be spectator in the own economy. We'll take 1 million people out of poverty.
Mhm.
He didn't tell us the how though. He was just
Yes, yeah.
right.
Hmm.
And here we are. All he's doing now is battle cry. So he can't go back on those same campaign messages he was talking about Liberia. He can't tell no Liberian man say you will not be spectator in your own economy again for this second term. Because he would knock his head with hammer. He can't tell the people say he would take 1 million people out of poverty. They will knock his head with hammer. So the only thing now he know the man have to beat him is Baga. So all he doing now he going after Baga. What you
Yeah.
think of this?
I love Volcano as the counselor was speaking, I was thinking to myself,
Let me just open the line quick so that if
mhm.
callers can make an attempt to want to call, the number to call 404-272-2808. If you just want to weigh in, we'll keep the line open for at least 10-15 minutes, and then we'll go to our last segment here on the show. Last segment meaning the memory lane and what type of country is this. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, so as I was saying, as I was watching this video with the counselor, I was saying to myself that now we have been able to play, public pronouncements or campaign statements by four uh, of the 20 presidential hopefuls. And of the four, the only person that came across as having no clue in terms of what to tell the people of Liberia, that's the current president. Councillor Gonglo knows how he wants to make agriculture viable in Liberia. He wants to know, I mean, he knows exactly what he will do for Liberia to start exporting rice. He said he will utilize agriculture battalion. The government will support what? Farmers. They will institute mechanized farming. Uh, 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 he talked about what? Improving the healthcare system, making healthcare affordable, that women and children age 5 downward, healthcare will be free. Public officials will be constrained to go to public facilities in Liberia. Nobody will go abroad. And with that, it means that the government will be what? Coerced to invest into all of these sectors. Um, Mr. Cumming King, he laid it out squarely how he going to fight dishonesty. Mr. Baka King, he also laid out squarely where he wants to see Liberia going to. He said Liberia cannot be a place where only a few group of people will decide whether you live or don't. A country that will create opportunities for everybody. The only man who came here chanting political slogans, throwing jabs, was the current president. So if I were to rate all the guys, I would say the three candidates, Gonglo, Mr. Cummings, and the former vice president, they know exactly where they want to go.
He said you want a man one more time. He gave you a man. You want a man.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the man there again. Yeah, you see the man throwing there. Yeah.
The revolution continue, we beat them, we'll flog them again. The people that are coming, they not knew that the same old people will come. They told you 2017, the car was bad, now the car part, the tire gone, the muffler gone, the engine gone, say. The same people that tell you they come to rescue you, local will looking to simply pay today, simply because of us, say. They tell you that the people they now honest that why everybody crying around and they laugh to everybody say Manda, Manda, Manda. Oh, the men that work 50 years in government, not do nothing, say, oh, you pay. Say, you saw it the other day when we came to the hospital, you come back, as soon as we say they want to pay our money back, they not pay the money, say, Even the necklace and you're running rest at your home, you can't pay the necklace, the CDC job, we present. I say,
All right, all right. We got a caller here calling from 813 8155 number.
Yeah,
Hello, caller. Caller, are you there?
the call is
Uh,
not coming through.
okay, maybe it's one of those whatever. But yeah,
Yeah,
so now the
if it,
man,
yeah, but Volcano. Take for example, you were watching this particular video with one of your American friends. What would be the question I would put to you? Say,
what is
Volcano, what
what
is he saying?
what is he doing? No, first,
Yeah.
what is he doing? Is that his campaign message?
Is that his campaign message? Does he
Yeah.
know what he's talking about? That's the question they're gonna ask you.
That-
And the next thing they're gonna ask you, who is he? Oh, is that your president? Man, he
but
has a lot of work to do.
but Moses,
Yeah.
look at the dog the man is in here. But he says they're selling electricity to Ivory
Oracle.
Coast. And look
Hmm.
at the dog they're in here.
Yeah.
What they call the thing? Satellite. That's like solar panel.
Yeah, solar panel, the people using
Solar
it.
panel.
The
Solar
people using the people using solar panel, yeah.
So interestingly, this is where we are. And unfortunately, Shaggy McAfee say an embarrassment, or I mean embarrassed rather by our president talking about I won't go to bathroom
Hmm.
or I won't go bathroom. I don't even know what he's trying to say. But yeah, but these are the kinds of things that we've dealt with for the last 6 years. And as you look at the horizon now
Hmm.
to October 10th,
28 days from now.
what are we going to see happen? You know, what are we going to
Yeah.
see happen? But anyway, that was what we wanted to look at. We think that for message and content, Baka, Cummings, and Gonglo, they are all giving you the message with content, relatable content for change, giving you the how, you know, and honestly, is something that we think they've done their best, and it's our hope that as we go to October 10th, the Liberian people will make that determination.
Hmm.
But this is where we're going to end on this segment. More of this kind of conversation will be held. And so we want to go to our memory lane um, at this point so that we can continue to what type of country is this. So the memory lane here tonight is, of course, by Dr. Manin Sumo, A. Manin Sumo. And he says here, let us pray a call to all Liberians. Let us pray. Looking back 40 years ago, I was then 19 years old, and I prayed to God to grant me good health and long life. I am sure many of us Liberians have prayed and do pray in the same manner for good health and long life. So when has living long become a crime in God's garden called earth? We say long life, rather long live Liberia, yet we despise the older man for living long and running for office. I like to repeat that. We say long live Liberia, yet we despise the older man, Joseph Boyka, for living long and running for office. To live long, in my belief, is a blessing from the Almighty. Whilst I pray, I ask God to give me a future. I prayed for a future that will give me a career, a great job, wife, children, and good friends. Like you did, or do I, or rather do, I too prayed for God to bless Liberia with a great leader, a leader waxed in wisdom, yet those waxed in wisdom are ostracized. I prayed for Liberia to have an experienced leader who understands the needs of the needy, but Liberia continues to get a tribesman as a leader. God of mercy, we know that corruption is endemic at every level of the Liberian society, making Liberia one of the most politically corrupt nations in the world. As such, corruption is not specifically a punishable crime under Liberia's law, which further exacerbates the nature of corruption in present day Liberia. We pray that a, you will raise a leader who shall make the thinnest corruption a severe punishable crime in Liberia. Let the corrupt rot in hell, we pray. I pray for Liberia to shine in Africa, but Liberia has become the meaning of the word dark continent, where putting a streetlight on has become a presidential celebration in the 21st century. Oh, how sad! So sad! Very sad. We pray for a bright future, but where is the future when there is no guidebook to end corruption, the number one enemy of a bright future? We Liberians sit in the diaspora and criticize the Liberians at home who are living the future we once prayed for. Wake up. Let us pray. We pray, O Lord, that Methuselah's age has nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon, but we need David. What are you praying for? I did not pray for austerity. Did you? Remember the words of Adam Grant. A bad leader sees praise as a sign of success, but a good leader sees praise as a sign of progress. Great leaders see praise as a learning opportunity. Are you seeing progress or success? Do you want success or progress? Let us pray. And as you pray, what are you seeing or hearing? Come October 10th, 2023, Liberians will go to the polls to once again decide the future of the country for another 6 years. So as you vote, will you vote for success or will you vote for progress? Vote wise. Vote your future. Vote Liberia. I come in peace. Man Sumo. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith.
So where has age become a factor? You say long live Liberia, then when we say long live Baga, then you say the old man too old. What kind of trouble here? Alphonso, my man?
Isn't that double standard?
I want some Liberian to talk to me here today. You say long live Liberia. Then if people say long live Baga, then you say the old man old to run the presidency.
It's a double standard because every day we go to church. Every morning we wake
It's
up, we
okay.
ask for
It's
God's
Okay,
okay.
blessing,
It's okay.
right?
What we want is kush. We want kush.
Yeah, yeah. So as I was saying, right, Alfonso, we go to church, we go to the mosque, we ask God for long life and a better future. We wake up in the morning, we pray, asking God for long life. But when someone gets older,
then we say the man.
then we shame the present.
Yeah.
Isn't that double standard?
I mean, we are here now. Go ahead into whatever country is this. So this member link will just be the two
Yeah.
three minutes conversation.
Go ahead,
What
Alfonso.
do you make of that, Alfonso? What do you make of that?
Uh,
The man is saying here that
on
we pray for a long live Liberia. Now we blessed to have a president with a presidential candidate with wisdom and age,
Yeah,
and yet we
we
say
pray
the man
for
too
that.
old.
Of course, yeah. The man too old, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you both. Actually. I have a little bit of a caveat to that, which is that, yeah, I think it's understandable to be concerned about a leader's age and health. It's understandable to be concerned about that because that's your leader. You want them to be able to produce and to lead you. But at the same time, I think we need to understand that somebody's is not a disqualifying factor and should not be a disqualifying factor as it's being portrayed.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I mean, even
long live,
here in America, they're talking about Biden's age, Trump's age, etc. So
so long live Liberia, long
sorry,
live
go ahead.
women. What?
Mhm.
Right.
Well, even like in the United States, yeah, age cannot be used as a determining factor as to whether who gets higher or who doesn't. If it is established that someone was
Absolutely.
denied employment as a result of age discrimination,
So
that company can run into a bigger problem.
so let's look at retirement age now.
Yeah, it's
So
65.
yeah, so if a man passes the far, the company got the right to say the man too old for the job because
No,
we investing. We want to, so you know some positions people want to invest in. Company's not going to go spend $10,000 to recruit, then you come there for 1 year, and they knowingly know that you're going to be there for 1 year, right? So
mhm,
they want to invest in the human resource capital to make sure that there's long term gain,
mhm.
right? Long term gain rather.
Yeah, yeah,
If
you're
you
gonna
pass,
come and
the
stay for
question
some
now
time.
is,
Yeah.
if you pass the retirement age, past 65,
Mm,
or let's just say 67,
mhm.
the company obligated to hire you if you even know that they didn't hire you because you were 68.
No, but this is what a company will do.
Mm.
If you're 67, you apply for a job, and then the company factor everything in to determine that hiring you, they will spend more money retaining you. They're not going to say we deny you because of your age.
Uh-huh.
The letter that we send out, the letter the HR will send out to you will be that we have decided to move forward with another candidate who is more suitable for this position. They're not going to say they will not hire you because of your age,
Mhm.
because when they do that, my man, you in
Oh no,
administration.
no,
That
I just
that's a
think,
lot of money that person will be
listen,
walking
I'm just
away
playing
with.
the devil's advocate. That's why
That's a lot.
tell Walmart just make it easy. When you get retirement age, you pass it, then you say, come just tell the people, hello, welcome to Walmart. Give something, give something to do.
Yeah, they put you at the door.
Oh,
Yeah.
the school district say, all right, and you're just crossing the road sign. Just
Yeah.
take time before car knock you down the way you owe. But anyway, just go hold
Go,
this.
go do that one. Yeah.
But Moses,
Yeah.
what type of country is this? That you have a sitting president who should be presidential has reverted to being a soccer star.
Yeah, leader. Yeah.
That his campaign messages are of soccer designs.
Mhm.
What type of country is this? When we are at the crossroad, when our country is the least, we got all this stuff coming up every day. Drugs. I heard they say that they brought drug in the country. They say that Maranga tea.
And it's good you even said something about that volcano to tell you the leadership crisis we have. They arrested the drug at the RIA because the way things when the aircraft arrived, a VIP, a vehicle drove straight to the tarmac. You know, the boxes were all put in there, and some said there was some insider work, and people even pointed accusing finger at Findabondo. Volcano, after a week, when the name came out with Findabondo, the government decided that, hey, let's call the media. They called the media at the RIA. They called the police, what they call joint security, and everybody went there. And yesterday they announced that, yes, what they discovered in those boxes was nothing but what? Uh, tea, tea leaves. They said what they had in the boxes were all tea leaves. And, and then the pronouncement was that the how you call it, joint security was going to take the tea leaves, for further investigation. Yesterday evening, the Liberian government issued a press release saying that yes, it is true that they established that in the boxes there was drugs. How do you give two contradictory statements? The RIA is part of government. They come with joint security. They say, yeah, they think yeah, that tea leaf. In less than 24 hours, they flip the whole story around because they realized that the tea leaf story they had out there was not adding up. That tea leaf, you will have people going to the tarmac in a special car to receive.
Yeah. Man, listen, man. When you put crowd of boys in government who don't have the front from the who don't know the front from the back, the way you get, it's sad, man. It's sad. It's sad.
It
But let's go
is.
to what type of country is this? What type of country is this? Idea how Idon Jiset Umo says that you have a sitting senator who puts the government out of business by running his own transportation company.
Yeah,
What type of country is this?
yeah,
Tonozawaji, what type of country is this where drugs flow freely through the airport?
yeah. What type of country is this? What type of country is this when you have 28 days to go to election? Then the president travels to Bone County to turn on, you know, electricity. When did he get to know that the people in Parala,
In the
you
dark.
know, need electricity?
Yeah,
Yeah. What type of country is this? 28 days to election. The man is breaking ground for for the construction of markets. So you can tell that this is all nothing but what? Joke.
What type of country is this? Flomo Livingstone. That the country is turning into a narco state. What type of country is this? A Dia Umo, where Liberia has become elephant meat.
Yeah, well, you gotta-
What type of country is this? Kali Kwatar, good to see you, my brother. When the chief of security at the airport is caught up in a drug smuggling scandal. What type of country is this, Moses?
What type of country is this that has sanctioned public official will come to say, I will build all the rules in my Gibi County.
If you're giving me
And you're giving me the
senatorial seat.
senatorial seat. What type of country is this?
But what type of country is this that a single man
Yeah.
who just with the past 6 years was zero? I
See,
said zero.
see,
Who are passing around with nothing, no hope. All of a sudden, he's state minister. He closet photo with the US dollars. Now he say he can build a whole county roads.
yeah, my Gibi, you will build all the roads.
What type of country is this, Moses? Liberia, what type of country is this where an incumbent president has no record to campaign on? The only thing he's saying around here, he said they will park up, but all the tire fly in the garage. Jose.
Yeah, we'll be there before we can be there again.
Yeah, they see people coming. Who are they coming to rescue when they didn't rescue themselves for the first time? Jose. That's the campaign. This is what the international community should scoop to. Because the president, as
Yeah,
a president,
I went to.
let me be practically honest with you. What these guys have failed to realize, and I'm going to say something here tonight, and I stand by what I say.
Yeah,
In as much as the election is in the hands of the Liberian people, yet the international community has influence.
but that's what the international community
They
has
have
expressed
influence
interest. Yes.
because they can put a foot down, irrespective of what could happen in our elections. So when you are an incumbent president, cannot write your message, your campaign message to have a balance for the voting populace in your country and an appeal to the international community that you mean business, you're on your own. And even if you won the elections, just the same way for 6 years, we can see no president. We see none except your sub-regional boss who just kind of say, Happy July 26, my man.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations.
Hmm.
That's what's going to happen for another 6 years. Because this president is not able to tell the international community that he means business.
Mm-hmm.
So why he throwing jabs at Baka? Baka is telling the Liberian people this is what I would do. Cummings is telling the Liberian people this is what I would do. And to show you to a degree the house, how we're going to do it. And you, on the other hand, just doing football talk in the dark and making noise. Because your message should resonate with the people and the international community, with your donor partners. Those are the important stakeholders in sustaining your leadership and creating the aptitudes and avenues for you to be a successful president. And this Mr. Weah has not gotten it. And the people around him continue to jeer, and I'm not jeer rather, but praise him and say, Mr. President, you are fully clothed.
Oh yeah. But according to Liberia best result,
You are the best.
the man
That's my
as per
story.
their definition,
Emperor's
the
new book.
man, is the most accomplished president in the history of Liberia.
What type of country is this, Thomas Awaji? Where 28 days to national election, all you hear from the incumbent message is Zegwe, Zegwe, oh, say.
We beat them before we can beat them again.
What type of country is this? Nadia Umo, where the president throws jab as a
Yeah,
campaign message.
yeah.
What type of country is this? Emmanuel Jackson, few weeks ago or before elections, the NEC still asking for money after years for preparation. What
Yeah.
doggone type of country is this?
The people say they don't have
Absolutely.
money for second round, my man. No money for
So you
second
got to
round.
win first round.
What type of
Yeah.
country is this?
One round.
That the government say they're giving Ivory Coast electricity, but its citizens don't have electricity.
Mm-hmm.
What
What
type
type
of
of
country is
country
this?
is this?
But I think there's a selling point. Let's come back to that. So the Elections Commission is telling you emphatically that no money in the.
The people say they have no money for second round, man. So you have to do everything to win first round.
That's that's a conundrum.
One round. One
That's a
round.
serious
The people
conundrum.
are already predicted.
That's a
They
serious.
say,
I
they
mean,
say that you gotta make sure you take it first round,
Ekpagu would do anything for you to take the first
and
round.
you did it here for round, you might hear, oh my God, because we ain't get $1 for second round.
What type of country is this? Where some of our citizens feel embarrassed to identify with the incumbent president.
I tell you.
What type of country is this?
Mhm.
Raymond Clark. That's so true. Jackie McCaffrey, hashtag, what type of country is this? That people are bringing drugs into the country through RI and calling it tea. The Moraga tea.
What type of country that Kush,
That's taking
the Kush which is killing people in the numbers, and you got Sidishian saying that we want Kush, we want Kush, we want Kush. Supporters of the president.
What type of country is this where people paid for LEC meter 2 years ago and still can't get it? That's so true.
Can you imagine we register your
So
meter can
a
come?
popular demand, and people say they won't hear the man message again over man.
Yeah, Baku. You cannot hear the
Does he even know if you ask him what the meaning of Amanda? Can he say?
no. He doesn't. I mean, the man goes with the flow. What are you talking about?
Does he know what it means? Wow.
But
Instead
man,
of
watch this
saying
video, Alphonso.
Let's hear the man.
Yeah.
Bati or some kind of Liberian thing, he's saying
Now listen to Paku.
The people that are coming, they not knew that the same old people were being they told you in 2017 the car was bad, now the car bad, the tire gone, the muffler gone, the engine gone. Hey. The same people that says they come to rescue you, look at what they do, simply Ria pay for this, simply because of us. Hey. They tell you that the people they not honest, that why everybody crying around and they laugh, everybody say, Manda, 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 Manda. Oh, the men that work 50 years, they go in vain, coming behind your people, they say, you start in all
Who
the
is
work,
this for?
people in number,
Yeah, y'all playing for? Y'all playing for? Man, no bother anything with us.
even the neck blood and you're running left and your heart, you can't pay the neck blood, the CDC and money for you. I say, Amanda, 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 Jaja, 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 not a coalition, Jaja, brother, coalition, brother, Amanda, 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 oh, say,
Wow.
Oh, my man, that's it? That is
Oh,
that whole speech there?
my man, I make campaign speech there.
That
Is
campaign
that
message.
is that all you said?
Yeah.
Really?
Sure campaign message, my man.
The campaign
Wow.
message. We'll say.
My man, they had the people sitting down there for hours, only for the man to defeat the purpose why the people had to be there.
Yeah.
He just
Can you
So,
imagine that?
but let's just look at not the we are.
Yeah.
Let's look at these people around him. People who are in government,
oh,
who their fingers are so sticky. They've put their hands in the cookies jar and
Hmm.
they've touched things that don't belong to them. And as they touch things with a sticky hand, it goes in their pockets.
Yeah.
These are the people who enjoy this kind of spectacle
Hmm.
because they really, really know that at the end of the day, without we are, there's zero. And so they
yeah,
will do anything to
absolutely.
appease him and to please him.
Hmm.
They see we are as a god. They worship this man. In fact, I hear in circles that sometimes people go to this guy and they bow to him
Oh yeah. People
because they
literally
believe.
bow down. Yeah.
How come they believe and what they say is that we are was God sent for them,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
we has changed their lives. This is serious matter. These are people who would throw themselves in a fire for this man. It's not
Yeah.
about a country. It is not. Many of these people are not about Liberia. It's about we are. And if they had a chance for we are to be long live, we are long live the presidency, long live you in power. That's what it would be. Alfonso,
Yeah.
let's hear from you
That is
because
Hmm.
I think
that is a fact. That is a fact. You hit the nail right on the head. The whole we are presidency was even predicated upon the fact that we know this man knows nothing. We know the man can really run the country, but he's popular. The people will vote for him. And so we use him as the vehicle for us to get in power and get what we want to get. That was the whole idea. Even the people around we all know he's incapable, they know he's incompetent. And he's demonstrating it every day in front of them. But that is what is keeping them in power, and that is what's giving them what they want, so that they're feeding it. And I mean, you're right. Take these guys, who some of our friends. Under what kind of real competent, qualified administration will they hold the positions to hold? Look at our finance minister. Can he go anywhere in the international community or talk any financial matters? There's a man who went before the legislature and said, "We're a candidate for a master degree." I don't know how people be candidate of master degree for past
How can you
7
be
years.
okay in it? Yeah.
Yet when you enter the school or when you register or you're about to graduate, what makes you a candidate? You
Yeah.
know, where would this guy in which country, in which administration will he have become prime minister? Only honor George we the local men and maritime and all of those things. I have no idea about
Yeah,
maritime. You
Eugene
run
Number, yeah. Hmm.
a maritime program. I mean, so these guys would do any and everything to stay in power because that's the only way they can really hold the positions they're holding today. So you hit the nail right on the head. That's what it is. Meaning they will go as far as killing people. They'll go as far as
Good. Yeah.
emptying the coffers to be there. Jefferson Koji, I mean, mayor of the city of Monrovia. Are you kidding me?
Can you
Africa's
imagine that?
Africa's first capital.
Hmm.
Yes, mayor of the city of Monrovia. What do you think he would do? If you say you we're moving you, Joe, we are moving tomorrow,
But
he
no,
will come
okay.
look for you and
No,
your
man.
mom and your children and get out of here because that's the only way he will remain there. That's exactly what it is.
Man, they find all of
Let's,
you
let's,
as enemies.
let's go to what type of country is this? Liberia quickly, since we in this segment, where
Mm-hmm.
most of the civil servants are coerced into attending CDC rallies.
Yep.
Yeah.
What type of country? And I won't even use the word coerce because
No, they
coerce.
are.
No, no, I want to add. You
Oh,
force.
okay.
You force.
You force.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
got
force.
to go. You got they give you a set of teeth first. Then you got to go. Then you take picture and bring it back to your director. It
Yeah,
That
belongs
you are
you
there.
force.
to the job.
Yeah,
You work for government, your supervisors tell you, oh, my man, we are going.
Mm-hmm.
So if they tell you that they are going, they are indirectly telling you that you have
force
to
you
be
that.
there.
Uh-huh.
If you're not there, your job is gone.
Yep.
They call
What
you
type,
enemy.
what type of country is this, Shaggy McCaffrey? Oh, say all day, every day.
What?
So,
What
yeah,
have you done for the people you are talking to?
yeah,
What have you done?
yeah.
Thomas Awaji, no, Shaggy McCaffrey comes back again. That the soccer president who was world
Well,
best
best. Hmm.
let Liberia get beaten today by Ghana 3-1.
So the thing we're talking about that too today Ghana beat Liberia 3-1.
But yeah, was they be
Yeah.
talking? Yeah, was
Yeah.
they what that?
Wow.
Does the man care about soccer? He didn't care about
Um,
nothing.
Pluma Livingstone, what type of country is this? They're providing solar power on the street to the people, but they don't have electricity in their homes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because after that little solar
Yeah.
power lantern they're looking at when they get when they go in the dark.
No light in their home too.
What would those people do when CDC loses this election?
Then all
That
the
is
solar
scary.
panels will go down.
But this boy is
That is
asking a simple
not.
question.
That's not. Yeah. That's very scary. Yep.
The man is saying all the thing you're doing here, they was saying all the big thing you're doing. What will happen if CDC wins? I mean, loses this election? What gonna happen? Panendo. Panendo says yeah, where a candidate uses battle cries as a campaign message. What type of
Yeah.
country is this?
No idea.
What type of country is this, Thomas Awaji? Where will some of you, some of us be today if we never had the opportunity to leave that country?
I
There
know.
you
We be amongst those in the crowd chanting and dancing?
go. Of
No
course.
way, Thomas Awaji, I wouldn't be in that crowd.
You know, the situation is very sad, Volcano.
Thomas,
Yeah, go ahead.
Adia has said probably yes.
Yeah,
Because we
yeah.
can predict the future.
I mean,
Maybe
I,
I'll be in the crowd. Maybe I'll
yeah.
be in the crowd.
I mean,
Maybe
you know
I'll
what I
be
mean? For somebody to give you $50, say, my man, just wear the t-shirt and come. You
Shaggy
have not,
McCaffrey said
your family have
they,
not eaten for days.
that provide solar panel for its citizens but sell the power to Ivory Coast.
Must help out to Africans.
I mean, the thing crazy, man. How do you be selling electricity to Africa, but you're
That
giving your people solar power?
Shaggy, I know Shaggy. That's a very
Using
good
solar power
campaign
to provide
message.
electricity for your
Uh,
people, yeah.
uh, and opposition parties should pick that up.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
very good campaign
yeah.
slogan.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
say you
that's
selling
good.
power or
it's
whatever,
not.
you give us a lot.
Yeah, but you getting solo power.
What when you said he saw the game, like Euro won, Ghana three. Say he saw
La-
the game.
Is that what?
And
Labro won?
One,
one,
number one, and
one
Ghana
Oh,
number one,
Labro lost to
and three.
Ghana.
3-1, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, wow.
And you got the world best.
Oh, yeah. The
the
world
man
best.
wants to remain the man want to remain the best, so he can't train anybody else to come close or take over. So that's it.
I mean, can you imagine the man expertise, soccer, no development, my man. What you know best, like the three of us here as
Mm,
journalists, how do we take over Liberia and we see the media, go
on the
down the drain?
yep.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah. And
Oh, no. Well,
eh,
I would be bringing Anderson Cooper to
to
Yeah,
improve things, man.
not improve, to come and you know how you showcase talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, come do your Anderson Cooper show from ERBC studio
Yeah.
tonight.
hmm Make LBS
but
top
I
notch, my
think
man.
I don't know if it was Shaggy or Thomas to ask a very critical question. What would those guys do if the results come and CDC loses? What would the Jefferson
No, I
coaches?
was watching. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
What
Thomas, yeah.
Yeah. What will those
And
guys do? They could go on a rampage. They could refuse to accept the results. They could leave. They could even pressure the people not to announce those results. That might be chaos.
that's why people in the international community and people abroad and also people in Liberia have said that this election will be consequential.
Yep.
Yesterday, the U.S. embassy came out to say that Liberia's ability the sustainability of peace and stability in Liberia hinges on the outcome of the election.
Absolutely.
Because, like
Yesterday,
what you said, yeah,
yeah.
the press release are the issue. That's why it's in there.
Okay.
Now, you tell
Okay.
me, Volcano, if election result comes out and say Mr. Weah lost the election, what would you expect Jefferson Koji to do?
The man, no, listen. I
Mhm.
I watched some podcasts from other, you know,
Mhm.
outlets, and what
Yeah.
I heard is that Koji just bought his house here in the States, and his family is here in the States.
Yeah.
So they are preparing. Salvatore just bought a house here in America. Pizza City also bought a house here in America.
Okay.
I heard this this Spoon Network. Okay,
Yeah. Mhm.
and give Spoon Network credit because
Oh yeah, look, God's
inside us,
feeding him a
yeah,
lot of information.
inside us in that very government is
Yeah.
revealing some of these things,
hmm
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that tells you they ain't ready to go to any kind of chaos because it would be detrimental across all sectors of the word sector, meaning they
Oh yeah.
themselves, right?
Yeah. hmm
But they are preparing because they want to be sure that they are situated and well situated in case of the eventuality.
hmm
So that's why they're buying those homes now, paying for the homes, getting themselves situated prettily so that they don't have to. If the pressure comes from the international community and say, "Hey, this is the result," you can't do anything about it. People will just
We
pack
gotta go. Yeah.
go in the
And
cocoon,
live. Yeah.
go in the cocoon. So that's why they're doing that. But interestingly,
No, that is true.
why are
Yeah.
they? I'm coming quick, Alfonso. Interestingly,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
why are these people who steal from Liberia always run to America? That's another,
Because it's not America is safe.
yeah, but that's another conversation we got to have. Why when the people
Yeah.
steal from Liberia, they bring the gains here and they purchase homes and I know of people right in Philadelphia that buy.
Yeah. Stay here and live peacefully. Yeah.
America wants you
Is
to
it
come,
a fear?
bring your
Is it a
money.
fear? Is it a fear that they won't be able to survive on the grounds?
No, they won't. Of course, my man. You know what I
They're
mean?
running away from accountability too, though. They're running away from
Yeah.
accountability, so they run here. Of course, initially America will accept you, bring your money. I mean,
Yeah.
this
It's
country is
settled
about
down.
money. And settle down, invest it. If they want to say they see it, but at least it remains in the system.
Mm.
That's what you will spend
So,
it here, and that's
so
what
they
they
think
want.
that the country's government officials are going to Dubai too.
Yeah,
Uh,
my
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
My
Dubai.
man. Most of the guys have their exit strategies already.
So
So
And
now my understanding is, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
my man Emmanuel Johnson say he wants to see we have facial expression when he loses the election. All that thing he doing here like this and inflicting and yelling and high pitching. You want to see how a man will respond when he loses.
yeah.
So,
Quick, let me do
a lot
somebody.
of them are buying.
Let
A
me
lot
let
of
me
them
just
buying
finish.
houses in South Africa, in Guinea-Bissau, and those places. They're putting money in there because they know Europe might seize their stuff, so they're putting it in those places.
Let me just go real quick so we can wrap up. United Party wants
Hmm.
ATS, the SKD for launching September 17.
Hmm.
I will to see we have facial expression. Colleague Patel says you can rest assured that the mechanism we are going to put in place is going to be hard for anyone to cheat. Trust and believe it's George Weah who will cry foul. JMB strong. Um, Shaggy McCaffey says here that all the top government officials are preparing to run away with the stolen money and leave all the Zogos behind. Now, I didn't think that the Zogo will be fighting. um,
So go down with Blighted Echo.
Shaggy McCaffey said, what will happen to Ellen when JFB wins? Will she run away too? That's a good one.
I
Shaggy
know.
comes back, he said that the president bought a house in Dubai for millions. Emmanuel Jackson said America is recipient of capital flights out of Liberia for decades. Yeah,
Exactly.
they're being a recipient. But gentlemen, look, we gotta go. It's about time, and I thought it was good conversation here tonight. Again, we look at these candidates, what they have to say. We have weeks away to the elections. I am nervous. I will tell you the truth, even though I'm not running for a position, but I'm nervous for the country. I'm nervous for Liberia. I'm nervous for its future. And the country is the land. But the people in the country who will be ready to take on the next charter of our country, it is my fear. I don't know about you. I know about me, and it's scary. We're going to go there. We're going to see it. We're going to take the risk. We're going to observe. We're going to ensure that we are very honest about what we see and what we report. And we pray for security. We pray for nonviolence. We pray that the process will be democratic, will be free, because at the end of the day, Liberia cannot go forward if our election stalls. Will be reverted to a place where we don't want to be. So I think the message should be resounding. Everyone who has a stake in this matter should be hopeful, should be prayerful, and should continue to remind the Liberian voters and those who are in the race to accept the outcome once it's declared free and fair. And that is why you said it, the international community wants it to be free and fair. That's my thought. 1 minute here, 1 minute there, and let's call it a night.
I agree.
Yes,
Uh,
I just as you, Volcano, I'm very, very concerned about the peace in our country because I think the stakes are very high. Um, People feel that a lot of people in our country, there are a lot of people in our country who feel that their lives really depend on the successful outcome of this election in their favor. and I think they will be prepared to do any and everything. And that's a major fear, and that's a major concern. Unfortunately, I would say that these are the first elections since our war ended that will be holding without West African or UN peacekeepers. We'll be relying on a Liberian police force that has been described by many as a ragtag partisan police force. I don't even know how many people in the police. The election commission says there are about 5,890 polling places. Would all of those polling places be manned by police people? What if a group of people decided to go to rural Grangita or Sino and disrupt the vote and take the ballot box from there? Who would stop them? There's a report, a threat from Monrovia. Where is this place where Prince Johnson was? What do you call it? Caldwell.
Nanima. Oh, okay.
No, Caldwell. Caldwell. There's a candidate, representative candidate, who was disqualified by the Supreme Court because they say he doesn't live in the area, and the supporters are saying if he's not reinstated, there will be no neck voting in that place. They might start confusion. What happens? And so I'm very, very concerned. Very concerned. And of course, political parties and other people even sending monitors and observers to polling places as well. I'm sorry, I'll be very quick. Observed the 1997 election. We traveled from Monrovia all the way to Salala in Bon Country. Almost all the polling places along that route. There was only one polling place in Firestone that had a representative for UPP. All the other places, no representative. And you know what happened? ECOMOG people and other people were casting votes. I physically, personally saw ECOMOG people casting votes. So again, that's another concern that we have to have about people just marking ballots and putting it in boxes once political party representatives or independent representatives are not polling places. That's serious.
What's this your 1 minute quick? Let's wrap up. I gotta go.
Yeah. October 10 will be the moment of decision making, and like you, Volcano, I'm also a little bit concerned because if if the election is not properly handled, I always tell people this. I don't wish Liberia any evil, but I can tell you, if this election is not handled well, there could be some, you know, uh, negative reactions. The pronouncement from the U.S. Clearly indicates that everybody is concerned. That the tension is building up in the country, and the way the process leading to election is being handled, that raises more concern. So we all should just pray
Okay.
that the international community will get involved and to make sure that this thing will go peacefully.
Thank
Thank you. Hmm.
thank you, gentlemen. Good night to everyone, and we'll be back here on Friday, God's willing. I thought
Uh,
it was another good conversation, and let's hope for the best. Good night.
okay. Good night.